Hello, everybody. Hey, I see you. 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 Oh, I see you. Hey, and welcome to Mr. H's music class. Mr. Hurston here. Guys, good to see you again. Oh my goodness. How has everything been? I know it's been a little difficult and crazy being locked up in the house, but I hope you're doing constructive things, having fun doing it, and still learning. And that's what this is all about. Us trying to teach you and you trying to learn through this process now that we have with the video and all different types of things. But we make the best of what we got, right? But it's good to see you guys. I'm so glad you're here today. So, last time we spoke, we were talking about the family of instruments, right? So, we talked about the brass instruments before, all right? So, today we're going to talk about the woodwind instruments, all right? So, here's the family of instruments song one more time.
The family of instruments, the family of instruments, the family of instruments are called
Woodwind, brass, strings, percussion.
instruments. The family of instruments, the family of instruments are called
Woodwinds, brass, strings, percussion.
instruments. The family of instruments, the family of instruments are called woodwinds, brass, strings, percussion. The family of instruments, the family of instruments, the family of instruments are called woodwind, brass, strings, percussion.
Okay, thank you. All right, cool. So now we talked about the brass. Now we're going to talk about the woodwind. All right, the woodwind family. Okay, and I got a bunch of woodwind instruments here. I just had here. I collected, and I'm going to show you and even demonstrate some of them to you. But let's talk about what the woodwind family is all about in the first place. Okay, the woodwind family comes from the name, two words, wood and wind. All right, put them together and you have woodwind. All right, and it means exactly what it says: an instrument that's made of wood that you blow into. You blow wind into it to make a sound. Okay, so that's what it means. Now we know that all woodwind instruments are not made of wood anymore, but back a long time ago, even older than Mr. Hurston, a long time ago, even older than your parents, a long time ago, long, your grandparents, long, long time ago, instruments were made only of wood because there was no such thing as plastic, and even metal wasn't even discovered yet. Or they discovered it, but it wasn't able to use it yet for anything, only for tools, maybe, I don't know. But it's been documented that the woodwind instruments were the first types of instruments, okay, made of wood, all right? Someone came up with the idea of just getting a piece of wood, a long piece of wood, round branch or something, and carving it out, and then putting a hole in it and blowing it. And when they blew it, it made a sound. And from there, history was made. Now we have woodwind. So the woodwind instruments are instruments such as the flute, the oboe, the saxophone, the clarinet, a lot of different ones. So that's the history of how woodwinds came about. All right. So the woodwind family is just as important as every other family in the orchestra. I wouldn't say more important because all of them work together in the collective to form the orchestra. And but the woodwinds do hold a vital role in the sound that's created by the orchestra. And they're beautiful instruments, beautiful sounding instruments. Okay. Now I have a few woodwind instruments here. Some are strange, and some of them you've seen or heard. So I'm going to show you a few of them. I don't know the names of all of them, and but I can tell you, where I got it from or wherever. So just take a listen. Okay. So here's the first one. The first woodwind instrument I have here looks like a flute. It is a type of a flute. It's actually called a fife. F-I-F-E. Fife. And it was used back in the colonial times. And it is made of wood. It was made of wood. I think this one's made of type of a plastic though. I got this one from a souvenir shop in Virginia some years ago, long time ago, I think. It was used in the Civil War. Not the Civil War, the Civil War too. Plus, in the war with the United States and England, when the United States gained its independence from England, they had music always playing with someone playing a fife, someone on a drum, and someone holding a flag to encourage the troops. Okay, now we don't like war, but understandably, music played a very, very important part in motivating the soldiers. So when they heard the charge forward to battle, usually it was in the form of the music. Okay? And like in most times, the strange part of the story is that the musicians were always sent out first, and they were never to be fired upon. So that's why you always see the musicians would always be the ones who survived the battles that they have. They may have gotten wounded by shrapnel or pieces of metal that would have hit them or something, but their job was to continue to playing the music at all times and never stop. Okay, especially in the battle. Okay, the fife is a type of a flute, so let's see how it sounds. Cool. Now, most woodwinds are played in the same way. If you could look to see, you see that little hole right there? That hole right there. That hole is where you blow into it. This is where we're talking about the wind. The wind passes over the hole, not in the hole. See, that's the trick. It's to get the wind to blow over the hole, which causes a sound. Have you ever had a bottle, a Coke bottle or something, a plastic bottle, after you finish drinking, or if you were drinking water or whatever? We need water these days. I know you've done this before. You blow over the top of the bottle and you get a nice round sound like this. Yeah, you could do that. Let me tell you a little trick. What you can do to have some fun is you can take the plastic bottle and you can fill it up with water. Put water in it at each level and blow. So I take one bottle that's empty and one bottle that's full, and I'll just take some water and we'll pour some water into the empty one. Now watch how the sound changes. Be careful now if you want to try this around a computer or anything. Be careful, don't spill it. Sounds like a boat. So if I were to drink some water, nice water. Now I got a little bit less water in it now. Watch what the sound sounds like now. It went lower. And then when I drink all, watch what it sounds like. Empty bottle now again. Isn't that cool? I discovered that when I was a little child too. Boy, I was like, wow. So, in essence, the bottle becomes a woodwind instrument. It's not made of wood, but yet it's still the same concept of blowing over that hole that I was telling you about on the fife. Okay? So, all of the instruments have that same kind of concept, blowing in or over. All right? Look at this one. This is an instrument that I got when I went to China some years ago. And I didn't know how this one worked because I saw the hole, the same hole there. Where is it? Yeah, the same hole there. And I thought, oh, maybe it works like a flute. So I tried to blow it. It worked, but I could only get one sound out of it. And so I was like, wow, strange instrument. It's foreign to me because it comes from a different country. And then I looked in the back and I saw that hole there. That's called an embouchure. An embouchure, which is a French word. An embouchure. And I was like, oh, if the embouchure is there, that means I should blow in the top. So this is one of those instruments where I'm going to blow in to the hole instead of over the hole. And then the air flows through and comes out of this hole. And that's how the sound is made. So check it out. Watch this. Yeah, Chinese music. Chinese music. It's cool, pretty cool. Now, I don't know what that instrument is called, but it's a woodwind instrument. And this one is really made of wood. Has a nice sound to it as well. Okay. The next one is one that I was telling you about how they made the woodwind instruments out of the metal. Okay. This one is called a tin whistle. It's made of tin, aluminum, a type of metal, tin. Okay. So it plays the same way, and this is another one that you blow into. If you see the embouchure right there, so that means you blow into the hole, and it makes a high-pitched sound, sort of like with that one we just got from China. Listen to it. Nice. Cool. All right. Now look at this one. This one is very strange, and I still don't know how to play this one. But I got this one from China too. When we were leaving to go to the airport to come back to the Bahamas, this gentleman was standing on the side, and as I was getting on the bus, he saw me. He raised up this instrument and asked if I wanted to buy it, and I was like, "What in the world is that?" Such a strange looking instrument, and it intrigued me, so I bought it. I can't remember how much, but it wasn't expensive, and you can see that it's some kind of dried out plant or vegetable or something that they attached to some bamboo. Okay. And it looks very, very, very pretty. And so when I tried to play it, I could only get one sound out of it. I never learned how to do anything else. I don't know the name of this instrument, but it came from China. So listen to this. Just one sound. All of this just makes one sound. I'm sure it probably makes something more sound. I'm just not playing it properly, but who knows? it looks pretty. Okay, then we come down to an instrument that we might be familiar with that I teach grade 4, and it's called a recorder. Okay, this one is made out of plastic, but there are wooden ones as well, and we know how this sounds. National anthem. And there we go. All right, so this one I'm most familiar with because I use it to teach grade 4 how to practically learn to play music. Okay, all right, cool. So that's the recorder. Okay, look at that. Anybody know what that is? Correct, a clarinet. And look at all those things on it. Wow, isn't that crazy to have all those different things on it? Shh. Man, wow. So the clarinet is another woodwind instrument, and it is made of wood. Even though it's black, it's made of a very strong type of wood. I'm not sure what the wood is called. Plus, it also has something on the back of it called a reed that's made of wood. Okay, it's a little thin piece of wood that vibrates when you blow into the horn. Okay, this one, I can't blow into it because it's missing a part. But I got it and I wanted to show you what a real one actually looks like. Okay, so that's a clarinet, and all these little silver things on it are called keys, like piano keys. This is clarinet keys, and all of those are working mechanisms that create different types of sound. There's holes on here that open and close, and they're covered, and all types of things. It looks very hard, but really it's not too hard of an instrument. It's very relatable to the recorder. So if you learn to play the recorder, you can learn to play the clarinet as well. Okay, so it's very, very simple. All right, so that's the clarinet. So this one is called the flute. Look at that, nice and shiny. Wow, this is my flute. This flute is also a woodwind instrument, and you can definitely see that it's not made of wood. It's made of metal, and it's made of brass. So that means that it could cross over into the brass family. But the big difference is that it's more relatable to how the woodwind instruments work. You blow over the holes, not into it. Okay? So we more readily classify this as a woodwind instrument than brass. So if you say the flute is a brass instrument, you are half right. Okay? But if you say woodwind, you'll be fully right. Okay? So this is what it sounds like. And we blow over the hole, just like the other one. That's the flute. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool instrument. All right. So those are woodwind instruments. Okay? You learn a lot about the woodwind instruments today. All right. So I hope that you're able to remember what I taught you about it today. Now remember, the woodwind instruments are made of wood, and you blow wind into it to make a sound. That's the difference. Now, not all are made of wood. Some are made of metal, but remember, it's called woodwind because that's how it originally started. All right, made of wood, not metal. Okay, so I hope you had fun today. I did, and I enjoyed teaching that lesson. So the next one we're going to talk about will be the string instrument. Okay, I don't have a lot of string instruments, but I'll show you what I have, and we'll go from there. Okay, so good. Guys, enjoy your day. Be safe. Stay inside. Have fun. and we'll pull through this thing, and we'll see each other face to face again soon. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.